So this is Paul Finebaum. Paul Finebaum, this is a tweet from CFB Kings at CFB KINGS, CFB Kings. They say Paul Finebaum says the College Football Playoff Committee better bow down to the SEC and give them special treatment, or else they'll pay for it. This should be an interesting listen. Let's see what he has to say. But I'm getting angry listening to this conversation because Greg. So that's all Paul Feinbaum wants to do. He wants to celebrate where the SEC is. Okay. All right. Dumbfounded by what we heard last year. We have laid a marker from the SEC at the feet of the CFP, and they better deliver. I believe he's talking about the strength of schedule here, which, again, strength of schedule is not a metric that should be determining anything, right? Nobody has any control over their strength of schedule. Nobody earns anything in their strength of schedule. Indiana 2 years ago, the year that they or last year they had a really really tough schedule. Looking at it before the season started, did they play anybody in the out of conference? No, but the conference schedule looked really tough. And what did Kirk Cinetti do? He won all but one game in there. He beat Michigan, who won the national championship the year before. He beat Washington, who was the national championship runner-up the year before. He had Purdue on that schedule, and then Jeff Brom goes to Louisville. I think it was the year before that. Anyway, you know what I'm saying? Like, there were teams on that schedule that would have been a difficult game for Indiana before that season started, but they didn't end up being that way because the teams looked bad later on. But of course, Texas got a whole bunch of credit because they beat Michigan on the road when that Michigan team wasn't very good, right? They were 8-5 that year. Probably should have been like 7-6 if Ohio State got their stuff together. But credit to them, they won the game, so they're 8-5, but still not a very good 8-5 team. It's strength of schedule is one of the worst metrics for trying to figure out if a team should make the playoffs or not. A much better metric is strength of record. So they're talking about this enhanced, strength of schedule metric, which is supposed to just be essentially strength of record. We'll see, but all right, only a little bit left in this clip. Here's probably where he's gonna threaten them, I guess. I'm not making threats because I don't have any more control over it than anybody else, but I know some people who do. And if they screw this up. So he knows some people who do. Okay, let's see. Let's see. If he knows some people that do, he must know what they're going to do. 9 seconds left in this clip. Let's see. Be paying for it. And I don't know how or what, but they should, because this is unequivocal what the SEC has laid down tonight. Yeah. Okay. All right. So he says he knows them, but he doesn't know what they'll do and that they should pay for it. So essentially, Paul Feinbaum's just talking crazy here. Again, how are they going to make the College Football Playoff Committee pay for it, right? If they're going to make them pay for it for the SEC, how are they going to make them do so? This would have been a much, much better argument 5 years ago when the SEC was essentially dominating all of college football and you couldn't really have college football without the SEC. Now, what do you think is going to happen if the SEC takes their ball and goes home? What do you think is going to happen if they go out and say, well, we're just going to have our own conference playoff and not even be a part of the college football playoffs or anything like that? You best believe the Big Ten and the Big 12 and the ACC are going to have so much fun without the SEC around. So I guess I don't even understand, what is he trying to get at here? They're going to punish the college football playoff somehow. They're not going to let their teams play in the playoffs. I guarantee you, the college football playoff would continue to make more money with more G5 teams in it and no SEC teams in it, right? I mean, the Big Ten makes more money than the SEC. The Big 12 makes not as much money as the SEC, but still a good amount. And the ACC, they still have schools in this program that are down south. Now, they're not in Ole Miss, or they're not in Mississippi and Alabama and places like that, but they are in Florida, but they are in Georgia, but they are in states with really big populations and really big TV markets that are still going to be a big part of this. So this whole idea that somehow the SEC is going to take he didn't say take down, but is going to punish the college football playoffs for not putting enough teams in, dude, earn it. Earn getting into the playoffs. That's the thing that is so mind-boggling to me. Earn it. And right now, the Big Ten is trying to advocate for something that is going to get you a guaranteed four teams in when you might not even deserve a guaranteed four teams in because you got teams that are going 9-3 and 8-4 with a more favorable record schedule. Right? That's the thing that not everybody takes into account. It's like, oh, well, a 9-3 SEC team is actually better than a 10-2 Big Ten team when the Big Ten is playing 9 conference games and the SEC is only playing 8. Again, that's another reason why I also want the Big Ten to be playing these conference games. Anyways, that was on the other video. On this video, we're talking the Big Ten has enough power and enough cachet now that they don't have to think, oh no, is the SEC going to leave? And quite frankly, this is one of the worst times for the SEC to make this decision if they want to leave. To be able to say, oh, well, we're just going to go and do our own thing now. No, you're not the best conference out there. Right? You might be the deepest, okay? I would give the SEC that. They are the deepest because right now, unfortunately, the Big Ten has teams like UCLA and Northwestern. As long as teams like that are in the conference, you can't call yourself the deepest conference. I'm sorry. I like the Big Ten. I root for the Big Ten. But I'm sorry. We can't call ourselves the best conference when teams like that are in the conference. But this whole idea that somehow they're going to punish the SEC or the college football playoffs, it's just ridiculous. I don't know if there's any ideas any of the comments have down here. I always love LeBron James one. So Bama Willie, I wonder what he said. Not what I heard. I heard thumping chest over 10-3 conference record versus Power 4 instead of boasting about the ninth conference game versus UCLA, Purdue, Wisconsin, Northwestern. The thing that they always fail to mention when they try to list the 4 teams like that is, number one, they just try to act like all those teams are on every single Big Ten schedule. Okay, go look at Wisconsin's schedule right now. You will not find Northwestern, you will not find Purdue, and you will not find UCLA on their schedule. Why? Because they got a really tough schedule. In my mind, the toughest schedule in the country. But they also fail to mention, and you have Auburn and you have Mississippi State. Like you have these teams as well in your conference, and you can try to boast up the Arizona State win all you want for Mississippi State. But that Arizona State team is not what they were last year by any means. So, CFB Common Sense Take says it's just so weird how the SEC stopped dominating college football when it became legal for everyone to pay players, and the transfer portal made it nearly impossible to stack 5 stars on your bench. It's true. It's very, very true. That is a very common sense take, and he's not wrong. I mean, the Biff Poggi comment. It basically solidified it all. The Biff Poggi comment to Nick Saban, right? But I mean, he talked about it on College Game Day. I'm not gonna play the clip because I don't know if I'm allowed to play a thing from College Game Day. I guess this is on SEC Network, so maybe I'm not even allowed to play this. But essentially, what he said was they were talking about how Biff Poggi was paying players, but Nick Saban was talking about it, and then Biff Poggi pauses for a minute, kind of takes a second, doesn't really say anything. He says, and then I learned all of that from you. So, I mean, essentially, St. Francis, that was a place that was putting out quite a bit of talent. And, I could go back and look at some of the stuff, I guess, but I'm sure some of those players were heading on over Nick Saban's way. And they were probably getting similar benefits, if not more, from one Nick Saban than they were getting from one Biff Poggi when he was over there at St. Francis. So, anyway, that's what you got for it. So good stuff there. All right, let's do our final. You can see it's on Facebook here. All you got to do is look up "Lost a Friend and a Customer," Nick Saban, Biff Poggi, and you'll find that real quick. It was all